CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.
Now the news. I'm Shane Bigham. China's reiterated its commitment to building a world of lasting peace through dialogue and consultation. Vice Foreign Minister Ma Jiaoshu made the remarks on the sidelines of the CPC National Congress. He voiced opposition to attempts by countries at stoking bloc confrontation and willfully pursuing power politics and hegemony. He said those practices represent the biggest threat to the world order. Sen Ziyuan reports.
Xi Jinping said in the report that China stands firmly against any forms of hegemonism and power politics, the core mentality, interference in other countries' internal affairs, and double standards. So Thursday's press conference is to deliver a picture of how the country will build its relationship with the world, but I also want to bring your attention to this is the 20th CPC National Congress, so it also really emphasizes on how the party is going to develop its relationship with the external world and other parties. Officials say China is committed to deepening and expanding global partnerships on equality, openness, and cooperation. They also say that China is really ready to work with others and also create new opportunity and build a human community with a shared future for all.
The head of international relations in South Africa's ruling ANC says her country and China hold strong bilateral relations. Lindiwe Zulu spoke to CGTN Radio from Cape Town.
Of course, China and South Africa are both ardent proponents of multilateralism on a global scale, and I think that is very, very important. As members of the BRICS, the two share important responsibility of representing the emerging economies and developing world in a very, very challenging era of the time of global challenges from an economic point of view, but also for peace, security, and stability point of view. Obviously, from a South African perspective, we have very strong bilateral relations.
The South African minister also highlighted that China and South Africa share a responsibility of representing emerging economies, and they both advocate for multilateralism. The World Health Organization says COVID-19 is still a global public health emergency. WHO first declared COVID-19 a public health emergency of international concern, its highest alert level in January 2020. On Wednesday, the WHO's International Health Regulations Emergency Committee noted that severe cases of COVID-19 and weekly deaths have been declining. But the committee added that the number of deaths from COVID-19 still remains high compared with other respiratory viruses. The committee also warned the outbreak could also evolve during the upcoming winter season in the Northern Hemisphere. Official data shows Japan's logged a record trade deficit in the 6 months to September. The deficit stood at 11 trillion yen, or $73 billion in the first half of fiscal 2022 since April. The finance ministry says this comes as soaring prices for energy and raw materials imports have been further inflated by the yen's steep decline against the U.S. dollar. In September, Japan logged a trade deficit for the 14th straight month at over 2 trillion yen. Officials in the U.S. state of Missouri have shuttered an elementary school following the discovery of radioactive waste. The findings are part of a study funded by law firms involved in a class action lawsuit in Florissant. The report found contamination in classrooms, the playground, and elsewhere at Jana Elementary School. This report follows another study by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers made public in the summer. It found contamination stemming from World War II-era nuclear weapons production in a wooded area near Coldwater Creek. Some elementary students will start virtual learning on Monday. That plan will remain in place until the students move to different schools. An award ceremony in Seoul has honored the top athletes of the Beijing 2022 Olympic Winter Games. The athletes were recognized during the Association of the National Olympic Committee's Awards 2022 on Wednesday. Gu Ailing was named the best performing female athlete of the Beijing 2022 Olympic Games. The Chinese Olympic Committee received the award for the Outstanding National Organizing Committee of Beijing 2022. Qatar's welcomed the arrival of 2 giant pandas from China under the first Giant Panda Cooperation Program between the two countries. Upon arrival in Doha, the 2 pandas were immediately transported to Panda House at Al Khor Park. Under the agreement between China and Qatar, they'll live in Qatar for 15 years. And that's the news. I'm Shane Bigham.